Hey, what's up, y'all? And yes, it is time to do my college football 2022 week 13 recap. Yep, the last week of the regular season. So next we're gonna be doing the conference championship week, and then we got the bowl season. Uh, But let's see. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this week's biggest winners and losers from rivalry week. Now let's start with some of the bad uh, mum teams that really mum crap the bed. Uh, you know, you, you you some of whom uh, their seasons are actually over, meaning that there's no bowl game for them. Uh, and then we'll talk about some of the big games, and then we'll talk about some other relevant games. But anyway, yeah, so let's start with Clemson losing to South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina beats Clemson 31-30. So that was what, like the first time in like 8 years? Yeah, 8 or 9 years, something like that. Yeah, so a big win for the Gamecocks, obviously. And yes, they did the impossible. Yes, they beat two top 10 teams in 2 weeks. Yeah, I never thought it would happen. I don't think that anyone thought it could happen. And yes, I did win my bet with Uncle Lou. I had South Carolina 8-4, and they made it. They came through for me. They had to beat Tennessee and Clemson back to back, and they did it. So yeah, how about that? And also, yeah, I wasn't watching when it happened, but apparently there was like a really funny, like an epic fail, trick play on on the part of Clemson that resulted in a fumble and a turnover. And that it ended up sort of being what cost them the game. Yes, so now Clemson is almost out of the playoffs. Yeah, no playoffs for you, Tater Man. The ACC is not getting into the playoffs. I mean, I'm, I mean, I think, I reckon that they'll take a two-loss SEC team that didn't win the ACC over a two-loss ACC champion. So, because you just don't play nobody. Yeah, 48. 48 straight home wins. That's over now. And then as for so Clemson, hello 10-2, South Carolina, hello 8-4. Yeah, the future looks bright under Shane Beamer. Anyway, so now how about Michigan and Ohio State? Yes, Ohio State. Yes, yes, you did lose to Michigan, 45 to 23. Now I know that you've been called, Ohio State has, that you've been called a soft team, and you proved it here. I mean, this was a similar result to last year. I mean, um, Michigan just owned you on the line of scrimmage, and they did again. In this game, it was a similar score to last year. Michigan beat Ohio State 40 something to 20 something. So, I mean, yes, Michigan just dominates the line of scrimmage. You know, they did really good with the run game. And I mean, J.J. McCarthy even made some good plays in the pass game. So, yes, and that was all without Blake Corum. So, but anyway, so now it looks like Michigan is headed to the playoffs, because I mean we all know they're going to absolutely obliterate Purdue in the Big Ten championship. So yeah, sorry, Purdue, but let's see. Yes, now about LSU. Yeah, you lost to Texas A&M. Yeah, you lost to Stolen Valor. Yeah, you lost to those the wooden guns. How did that happen? You lost to a 4-win Aggie team. I guess they're 5 wins now. Oh man, you got really humiliated by Texas A&M and Dumbo Fisher. That happened. I know you let his name Devin A-Chain. A-Chain what was off the chain. He my mom ran all over y'all. So I mean, yeah, it's embarrassing. I mean, yeah, this is not going to be much of an SEC championship. LSU is. I mean, UGA is coming for you, and it's going to get ugly. So, plus, my mom Jaden Daniels might be hurt next week, so it's really not really going to be a game, but anyway, yes, and then Oregon lost to Oregon State. 38 to 34. I mean, Oregon State. Oregon was up. Was it 34 to 17, and then you let Oregon State come back and win. Yeah, yes, 3 touchdowns by the Beavers in the fourth quarter led to their win over their big brother Oregon. But so it's all over for Oregon. That's it. I mean, no Pac-12 title game for you. As for yes, that's it for Oregon. That's it for Bo Nix. Yeah, he's gonna be gone to the NFL. So yes, the end of his Heisman. Well, I did think he had, and that Bo sort of had sort of an an outside shot at the Heisman, but now of course that's over. So okay, so anyway, let's see. And now what else? I guess let's talk about some teams whose season is literally over. I guess we'll start. Yeah, no bowl for these teams is their last chance, and they will finish with 5 wins. We've got Miami. Yeah, got mollywopped by Pitt, 42-16 to Pitt. Yes, at home. Yes, I mean Miami is absolute trash. Yeah, so a bad so a terrible first year for Mario Cristobal. Will things get better next year? I don't know. We'll have to, wait and see. But yeah, Miami has hit rock bottom. I mean, it's not it ain't about the U, and no one cares about your 5 national championships. Okay, now let's see. Alabama did beat Auburn 49-27 to win the Iron Bowl. Yeah, really, it should have been 42-27, but whatever. I mean, that was not a muffed punt. The Auburn guy didn't touch the ball. The ball didn't touch him. So that should have been Auburn ball, but instead it's Bama ball, and they end up getting a touchdown, and they go into halftime up 3 touchdowns, and it was just the game was over at that point. So anyway, just bad call, in my opinion. But I mean, really, it only would have been a 15-point win instead of a 22-point win. It wouldn't have really made a difference. But I mean, yeah, but I mean Auburn, you tried, but but anyway, so yeah, but your season is over. No bowl game for you. Now, while we're at it, we can go ahead and talk about the SEC versus the ACC. I already mentioned South Carolina over Clemson, and of course Georgia did beat Georgia Tech, 37-14. It was 37-7 until Tech scored a garbage touchdown at the end against our third string and walk-ons. But let's see now what although we did really struggle at the end. We'd start out, Tech actually scored on their opening drive, but then our defense played really good from that point on. They didn't score until garbage time. So let's see, and then of course we did end up scoring 37 unanswered. Right, we scored 27 in the second half. So see, I mean, it is what it is, and we're just gonna move on. So yeah, and Kentucky did beat and overrated Louisville team, 26-13. Yeah, I say overrated Louisville because they were number 25. I didn't have them ranked. I think the playoff committee had them 25. I did not have them ranked, but I did have South Carolina 24. It doesn't make any sense that they left South Carolina unranked, but they ranked Louisville. But I mean, I knew that they were frauds, but yeah. And then so we did go 3-1 against the ACC, but I mean Florida. Yeah, you let the SEC down. Yeah, you lost to the Criminals. Yeah, 45 to 38. But I mean, this game did end up being a lot closer than I thought. I thought that Florida State was gonna blow Florida out, but the Gators actually did put up a good fight. You know, and it ended up being a one-score game, so 45 to 38. But yeah, I mean 3-1 against among the ACC is, pretty good, right? So let's see. Although I wish we could have had a sweep of the ACC, but anyways, how about here's another team that crapped the bed last weekend. This is actually a Friday game. We did have North Carolina. You lost to NC State. Okay. So let's get this straight. First, you lost to Georgia Tech. How is that possible? And now you just lost to NC State. NC State, who was down to their fourth string quarterback. Well, he started as the fourth string quarterback. Yeah, making his first ever start. I mean, and you lose in overtime, 30 to 27. That's the end of Drake May's Heisman campaign. Yes, I know that he has put up, he has put up phenomenal numbers. But I mean, it's what he's done in his last two games, which is he really hasn't, done anything. I mean, he's tailed off in these last two games. I think that May has like one touchdown pass in the last two games. A little over 200 yards in both games. That's not like the 350 a game, and the 350 and 4 touchdowns that we were used to seeing out of Drake May, but now it's just fallen off. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I think that's the end for Drake May and the Heisman. So I don't want to hear any more talk about Drake May winning the Heisman. So that's some more losers. Iowa. You had a chance to win the Big Ten West, and you lost to Nebraska. 24 to 17. You were down 24-0 to Nebraska. Yeah, before we started scoring, and I mean it was just too little, too late. I don't know. Maybe Iowa, threw this game because they did because because they didn't want to get ran over in the Big Ten title game. Maybe that's why they lost. I don't know, but anyway, but no Big 12 championship for you. So now I guess some of the other big games. Let's see. I guess we can talk about the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. Yeah, Mississippi State did go ahead and beat Ole Miss, 24-22. And yeah, so Ole Miss, after starting 7-0, has now lost 4 of their last 5. So I guess their schedule was really so front loaded. I mean, really the only team that they played for the first 7 weeks was Kentucky. That was really the only decent team. So yes, it looks like my mom, but Hugh Freeze will. Excuse me. Lane Kiffin will not be going to Auburn. He's staying at Ole Miss. Let's see. My mom, Tulane did beat Cincinnati 27-24 to punch their ticket to the AAC championship. Let's see. Texas beat Baylor 38-27. Let's see. Let's finish up the games I have on this page. UCLA beat Cal 35-28. Let's see. Now here's another in-state rivalry: Arizona State and Arizona. Arizona beat Arizona State 38-35. Let's see. Arkansas and Mizzou. Yeah, Mizzou beat Arkansas 29-27 to get bowl eligible. Let's see. Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan. And I know nobody cares, but Eastern Michigan did win 38-19. Okay, now let's turn the page. Let's flip this thing over. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about Notre Dame and Southern Cal. Let's see, and USC did go ahead and beat Notre Dame 38-27. And yes, and of course USC will be playing in the Pac-12 championship. So, and right now I have Caleb Williams as the Heisman front runner. I think that it really is his to lose at this point. Like I said, I talked about Drake May with his last 2 games, and now Ohio State in their biggest game, losing to Michigan. So now Caleb Williams is going to have that extra game that C.J. Stroud, my mom didn't have. So I think that he is going to end up, passing him up in terms of passing yards and touchdowns. Yeah, I do think it's Caleb Williams to lose. Let's see. Now we got my mom. Okay, all right. So Washington did beat Washington State 51-31 to win the Apple Cup. Let's see, running out of battery. We better hurry up. Let's see. Utah did beat Colorado 63-21. So Utah will be playing USC in the in the Pac-12 championship, and not Washington. Well, it's sort of really complicated. There was a three-way tie, and the Pac-12 does have their own little way of determining tiebreakers. It was Oregon, because Washington beat Oregon, Oregon beat Utah, Washington and Utah did not play. So that meant that then they did have to look at record against common opponents, and that was the same for for Oregon, Washington, Utah, all the same record against common Pac-12 opponents. So then the next thing that they used to decide was they used strength of conference schedule. So basically, they took the strength of record of each team's conference opponents, and Utah's Pac-12 opponents had the best. Yes, their opponents had the best combined record, so that's how it ended up going to Utah. But anyway, let's see. UCF beat USF 46-39, so they will play Tulane in the AAC championship. Let's see. Kansas State beat Kansas 47-27. So they will play TCU in the Big 12 championship. Speaking of TCU, they just absolutely annihilated Iowa State 62-14. So let's see what else. Of course, how about Tennessee just suplexed Vanderbilt 56-0. So let's see what's happening here. Let's see. Purdue beat Indiana 30-16. They won some kind of bucket. I think they called it like a wooden bucket or something like that. They got a bucket. Yeah, that's their trophy. And let's see. Yes, and Minnesota won an axe. Yes, they did beat Wisconsin 23-16 to win Paul Bunyan's axe. So they get to keep. That's right. Let's see, and then let's see. Any other relevant games? Let's see. We got West Virginia beat Oklahoma State 24-19. So know that West Virginia had a bad year. They're not even going to a bowl. This just gets them to 5 wins. But I mean, they did have a couple of bright spots. They did beat Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Although they did do it well, both of those teams were having a down year. But they were both having a down year. So I don't understand what happened to Oklahoma State. I mean, they have just started out so good. Now they've just completely fallen off. So let's see. Penn State did beat Michigan State 35-19. Yeah, Penn State ended up being a pretty good team. I mean, they only lost to Ohio State and Michigan, but I mean, they beat all the teams they were supposed to. So, let's see. North Texas beat Rice 21-17 to earn their spot in the Mountain West Conference Championship, where they will be playing at UTSA. Let's see. Troy beat Arkansas State 48-19 to punch their ticket to the Sun Belt title game. They will play Coastal Carolina. Yes, Coastal Carolina got absolutely. They just got absolutely curb stomped by James Madison, 47-7. But it didn't matter because I did not know this before, but apparently there's this rule where I don't know if it's a Sun Belt rule or an NCAA rule, but apparently I think it's like teams that are in their first season, moving up from FCS to FBS, apparently are not eligible for conference championships, which I think that's ridiculous. But anyway, but I think I think that score was so lopsided because I think that they did what a lot of NFL teams will do when they've already clinched the number one seed in the playoffs, is to rest their starters for the last game. I think that's probably what Coastal Carolina did. So, which I believe is why it was so lopsided. Anyway, so they will host Troy for the Sun Belt Championship. Now it's just one more game. Liberty. Just got humiliated by New Mexico State, 49-14. I don't understand what's happened to Liberty. They're just total frauds. I remember when they beat Arkansas, and at the time their only loss was by 1 point to Wake Forest. When they lost 3 in a row, they lost to UConn and Virginia Tech, and now you get blown out by New Mexico State. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's because the team quit on Hugh Freeze because he was going to Auburn. So yes, Hugh Freeze to Auburn is confirmed. Yes, he's going to be the new head coach at Auburn. So. But anyway, yes, that's going to be about it. So now it's on to the conference championships. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.